Miss Moskwa, if you can please remove your head, what is that, a scarf on your head?
I have a head wrap.
A head wrap?
I can't remove it.
You cannot remove it permanently?
Huh?
Is it permanent?
No, ma'am. My hair is not taken care of properly lately. I can't take it off. I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that, but you're in court, so we don't allow hats or head wraps of that nature. So, and it's not a religious garment, so can you please remove your head wrap?
I can't, ma'am. I can't remove it. I'm sorry. I can't. I didn't know that was an issue. I didn't realize the headscarf was an issue. I'm not wearing a hat. I can't remove it, ma'am. I'm sorry. My hair is not in good condition.
Okay, I'm not really sure what that means, but this court has requested you to remove your headscarf or your head wrap. It's not a religious garment, so it needs to be removed, please, before we proceed with the proceedings.
Ma'am, I can't. I'll leave the proceedings then. I guess I didn't realize that was an issue. I didn't know that was an issue, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Ma'am, wearing a headscarf, anything on your head in court is not appropriate. So that
Okay,
is forcing you.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. If I had known, I would have made the effort to not be able to. But ma'am, I cannot. I just can't. My dignity, I cannot remove it. I'm sorry. I'll leave the meeting then.
Ma'am, I will give you a moment to step off so you can do that differently. That's fine. And then,
there's nothing else that I could possibly do. I need to have my hair covered up. It is a mess, ma'am. It's a mess. My hair is a mess. I cannot not have it covered up. I'm sorry. I did not know that was an issue. I didn't know. I would have taken care of it. I'm really sorry. I'll leave if it's necessary then. I'm sorry to disrespect you. I didn't intend to. Would you like me to leave?
I guess
Should
what
I
I'm
leave?
saying is that you stated that you can, if you would have known, it would have been different. So you can't just step off for a few moments and do what you have to do and step back on?
No, ma'am. I have dreadlocks. It's very no, ma'am. I can't. I really can't. I'm sorry to disrespect you. I didn't mean to. Should I leave then? Should I just leave?
Just one moment. All right, ma'am. I will make an exception this time. But let me just clarify, ma'am. Court is not just as though you're walking into a store to go shopping. Whether you're in person.
I understand. I honestly, genuinely did not understand that a headscarf.
Excuse me, I'm not finished. I also do not appreciate being spoken over and interrupted. So what I'm trying to say is that whether you're in person or on Zoom, appropriate dress is required. Let's go on the record in the matter of Tammy Urban versus Lori Moskwa, 2500248. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Christopher Bogart on behalf of Miss Tammy Urban, who is present in my office, although she's not on screen right now.
I'm sorry, what was that, counsel?
I was letting you know that Tammy's also present in my office. I don't believe she's needed for the hearing, but just letting the court aware that if for some reason she is, she's in my office as well.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Moskwa, your name for the record, please.
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing, ma'am.
Your name for the record, please.
Lori Moskwa.
Okay. And today's the date scheduled for the first hearing. And counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor. She was served with a notice to quit on January 2nd. We then filed the complaint for eviction on February 3rd. I did speak with Ms. Moskwa yesterday, asking her if she was able to move out of the house, if she's had, she's known about this since my understanding since the beginning of December that her sister was going to file for an eviction after the holidays. It doesn't appear that she's made arrangements to leave the house at this time. The parties don't get along, and Ms. Urban would like to move forward with the eviction, Your Honor.
Okay, do the two of them reside together?
It's Tammy's home, and she's allowed Ms. Moskwa to stay in the home while she was trying to find other arrangements. She's been there, my understanding, for the last 2 years, and she just hasn't made any efforts to leave the house, Your Honor.
Okay, so I am going to need your client for testimony, counsel. So, Ms. Urban, can you please place your name on the record, please?
Sorry, what?
State your name.
Your name for the record, please.
Tammy Urban?
All right, I'm going to have Ms. Urban and Ms. Moskwa, please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony? Ms. Urban, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, can you make sure you know that he gets our right hand and then
Okay.
one by one after we check the phones, please? Okay, okay, so Ms. Urban, you own the home, correct?
Yes.
And do you reside at the home, or is only Ms. Moskwa residing at the home?
I live there. I reside there.
Okay, so the two of you do live together? Okay.
Yes.
And how do you know Ms. Moskwa?
She's my sister.
All right, and when did Ms. Moskwa move in?
About October 6th, 2022.
October 6th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay,
The two attorneys can have their phones of the defendant and the plaintiff as they come through the door or anyone else on ask for their phones. She has to check the phone. Okay, you okay to bring him in?
okay, and so when Ms. Moskwa moved in, actually, Ms. Moskwa, did you move in October 6th of 2022?
Yeah.
Okay. And Ms. Urban, when Ms. Moskwa moved in, what, if any, were the terms?
It was temporary. I actually had her sign a paper saying that she was a temporary guest. And that she would leave, if when asked to leave, that she would leave. So she knew it was temporary.
Okay. And is it only you and Ms. Moskwa living in the home?
Yes,
And you are the homeowner, correct?
yes,
Ms. Moskwa, when you moved in, were the terms that are as stated on the record by Ms. Urban?
She had me sign a paper saying that basically that I was a guest and that when I would have to leave when I was asked to leave.
Okay,
That there was no other real stipulation as far as time. It's just that it said I was a guest and I did sign it. But I
okay,
have to in order to stay.
okay, so the answer to the question that I asked is yes. And so was there any rent that was to be paid at all?
No.
Okay. Were there any utilities that you would have to pay?
At that time, no.
Okay. And so, Ms. Urban, is this the first time in January that you've requested Ms. Moskwa to relocate?
Yes.
no.
What else have you asked Ms. Moskwa to relocate?
I had her, we weren't getting along, so She was, well,
Back in October,
Yeah.
she filed, she gave her another notice to quit, Your Honor, and then eventually before appearing in court, it was dismissed. So Ms. Urban allowed Ms. Moskwa to stay for the holidays. And then at the beginning of December indicated that if she wasn't gone by the end of the holidays, that she was going to formally evict her in January. So she allowed her to stay through the holidays, and then January 2nd gave her another 30-day notice to quit, Your Honor.
Okay, and so Ms. Moskwa, so you've acknowledged that it was temporary and that when you were asked to leave, you'd have to leave. You have been asked to leave at least twice and received 2 notices to quit. And have you relocated?
No, ma'am, I've been looking very hard. I'm on disability. I'm only receiving $566 a month. It's very, very hard to find a place to live with the lists are long. But can I just say one thing, please, with regard to the past October? She decided that she was going to be moving up to a condo that she had purchased and that I would be able to stay here to get my stuff together, to be able to have some time to find a place to move out. That was the understanding in October. It was not a temporary thing. She rented a U-Haul and actually moved her belongings up to a condo. And the understanding was that I was to stay here and be able to take over the utilities. And it wasn't like a time limit or anything. It was not a temporary thing through the holidays. She did that after the fact. She decided after that she rented that U-Haul, she decided that she wanted to stay here and that I had to leave. But that was the understanding, and that was why it was called off in October, was because I was going to stay and she was moving out and I was going to be here. And that was the agreement. It wasn't a temporary thing for the holidays. Huh?
What was that?
As in last October. It was not for a temporary thing when she called it off. It's like I said, she rented a U-Haul. She moved her belongings up to a condo up in Oscoda. And then after that, after she did that, that's when she changed her mind.
Ma'am, hold on a moment. You've already testified that when you moved in October of 2022, that it was temporary. And then you have received 2 notices to quit, one in October, and your testimony is that it wasn't dismissed in the court from the October one because of the holidays, but because Ms. Urban relocated up north.
She was supposed to, ma'am. She did not do so. She moved her stuff up there, but she never actually moved herself up there.
Okay,
She did a U-Haul, she moved her belongings up there, came back, and has only been up there one time for a couple days, and that's it.
okay, and whose home is the home right now that you're living in?
Tammy's.
Okay, she doesn't have to move if she doesn't want to. You have to move, ma'am. You have to move.
I understand it, but like, that was the understanding. I don't understand. I don't think it's fair that she could just go back on something that we had an agreement on. And that was the thing, is I was supposed to be able to stay until I could find a place to live because the housing market is so unbelievably hard.
Yeah, you've had over 2 years to find a place to live.
Sorry. I didn't
You've had over 2 years to find a place to live.
and I haven't been able to do so, ma'am. The waiting lists are multiple years long.
All right, well, we're at that multiple years mark.
I'm sorry, I can't.
We are at the multiple years mark, where it's been over 2 years since you've been residing with Ms. Urban, where she has allowed you to stay. Basically, it seems to be rent-free for over 2 years. How much money do you have set aside? How much money do you have set aside to relocate?
Ma'am, I don't have any money to be set aside. I've lived on $566 a month. I applied for SSI to get additional to my SSDI. It hasn't come through yet. It's going to take a few more months. And they started taking out premium for my Medicare of $185 a month. Otherwise, I would be getting $750 a month to live on. So I am actually a lot worse off than I was. And I'm going through all the appropriate necessary means, but it's just taking a lot longer than what I expected it to.
Okay, so I have 2 questions for you then. Number 1, what are your financial responsibilities since you don't pay rent?
I was paying half the utilities for most of last year.
How much is
She
that?
told me I didn't have to, but
How much is that per month?
it was about $150 a month.
Okay. So that's the only expense that you have?
No, I
Okay.
have a phone. I have to pay for delivery services for groceries. I don't have transportation, so I rely on grocery delivery services. I have to pay for that. I have to pay for streaming services. I pay for a book so I can read books because I'm disabled and I'm in the house and I don't have anywhere to go. So I
Okay.
read a lot of books. I mean, like that's
Okay, and so ma'am, why is your inability to find housing in over 2 years, why is that Ms. Urban's responsibility to allow you to stay there?
it's not her responsibility, ma'am. I'm not claiming that it is her responsibility. I just wanted her to live up to the promise that she made me last fall. After everything, I just really wanted her to be able.
It appears as though she has lived up to the promise where you could temporarily stay and you would have to leave when asked to leave. So it seems as though you haven't lived up to that agreement. You want Ms. Urban to live up to her agreement, but you're not doing the same.
I don't believe they're not the same thing. Honestly, if I had a place to go, if I had some place that I could go, I would go. I'm not staying here because I want to. I'm not staying here because I want to upset her in any way. It's very uncomfortable being here, quite frankly. But ma'am, I don't have any place to go. If I leave, I'm gonna have to give up my cat and go live in a shelter. That's
Okay,
my option.
and
I don't have any place else to go. So I have a hard time willingly doing that.
okay, well, I understand that, but I don't think there's not a legal basis for this court to not enter judgment in favor of Ms. Urban. It is her home. She has asked you to leave. There has not been any testimony that would suggest that there is any legal basis for this court to not grant that order.
I understand.
Counsel, is your client willing to give more than 10 days or no?
Not at this time, Your Honor. She's given a lot of time and it doesn't go anywhere.
Ms. Urban, what was your intention with the U-Haul trailer? Was that just because you bought a vacation home or what is that?
So the whole thing with the condo up north, basically, is Lori can live there, but not till she's 55. And she didn't want it anyways. But I had got it because I do have, yeah, it was pretty much either gonna be for Lori, for me at some point permanently, or just to, because I go up there a lot, but I always go camping. And as I'm getting older, it's getting harder. So I kind of thought this would be perfect for me to have a foot up there instead of having to go camping every time I go up there.
Okay,
Because I do want to get up there permanently, but so I went up there and it's smaller than what I had thought. I got a lot of stuff and I came back and I told Lori that I wasn't going to be living up there full time at this point and that I would just be going up there yes, for to get out. And Lori immediately just everything changed and we just fought and fought and fought. And so then that's when I just told her that she has to go.
okay, so then what is the condo that you purchased up north, is that a 55 and older community?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine, okay, all right. So, Ms. Moskwa, it appears as though your sister is even trying to look out for your best interest even up north. And things apparently didn't pan out the way that she was hoping they were going to pan out. And then it appears as though you're frustrated that you're not able to live at the home right now by yourself.
Exactly.
Would that be accurate, Ms. Moskwa, or no?
There's so much more to it, ma'am. There's a lot more to it. It just, she did what she said. Yeah, she was going to be staying here. She said it wouldn't be the same. Whatever, the things would be different. And it just, I don't really know what to say. Like I said, she moved it, but got the U-Haul, moved her stuff. She said she changed her mind, but she still at that point hadn't said word that I was gonna have to leave. She said that things would be different. It wasn't gonna whatever be the same as it was, and just you know.
Okay, Ms. Moskwa, let me just state what I think is the obvious, but I'm not sure. Ms. Urban owns the home that you're currently in, correct?
Yeah.
She resides in that home, correct?
Yeah.
She allowed you to move into that home on a temporary basis. Is that also correct?
Yeah.
You also acknowledged signing a paper that you would leave when asked. Is that also correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Miss Urban also purchased a condo up north, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was 53.
Okay.
I was 53 years old when she purchased the condo at a 55 plus community.
54, Lori.
I was 53. I believe it was in June or July.
No, it was.
That's really irrelevant.
Okay.
It's really irrelevant. But what is relevant is that, ma'am, Miss Moskwa, you seem to be very, very ungrateful to your sister. Extremely ungrateful to your sister.
I'm very thankful for her. I literally told her that she saved my life when she allowed me to move in here in October of 2022.
Okay.
She helped me. She saved me. But I just, it's very hard. She has rules. It's just, it's a very hard living situation. She
Yeah,
makes me
it's her
very,
home. She can put the rules in there that she wants. If you don't like it, then you leave.
and I'm trying to. I have tried. I have made an effort. I cannot find a place to go to. I
Okay,
have tried.
all right.
Believe me,
I'm not going to go through what all of your efforts have been and how long you've been working on those efforts. I don't know. What I do know is that Ms. Urban owns the home. She has filed a notice to quit. She has filed this matter, and there's not a legal basis for this court to allow you to remain in the home. I don't hear anything from you that you've, sought rental assistance anywhere, if that would even assist you, I don't know. Because there's not any rent that's owed, and I don't know, ma'am, where you've put your name in, when you put your name in or otherwise. What I do know is that Ms. Urban owns the home. Ms. Urban has asked you to leave. You have not left. So the court, after hearing, is going to order that plaintiff is entitled to recover possession of the property.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Defendant has until March 3rd to relocate. No money judgment will enter. Defendant may be responsible for money damages if damage to property occurs. And the court will send it upon receipt.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Moskwa,
Yes.
you received all your paperwork in the mail along with the rights that you have, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you've chosen to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself in this hearing that we just had, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
we'll send it upon receipt. Thank you, good luck to you both.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor.